Name a common high school mascot that starts with the letter W.
Walrus.
What did you say, Virginia?
Walrus.
I said walrus too.
I said wombat.
Wolf.
Yeah. I think, who was Virginia getting in first?
Is that a popular one? Walrus?
I wouldn't say that it's actually popular, right? Can you name a team that are the Walruses or the Wombats?
Yeah.
Okay, what's the high school?
Wilmington Wombats. They're in Utah.
The Washington Walruses.
Wilmington, Utah. Yeah, it's not coming up, oddly enough.
Wilmington, yeah, they won state a few years back.
Okay, I'm going to give you another quick one.
Kevin's throwing that one out and trying to ignore us.
Yeah. I don't think I'm going to take any answer on that one. The Walruses or the Wombats?
It's funny, though, because there's so many of us. It's hard for him to do the show.
Yeah. Wolverines?
Oh,
Wellington Wolverines?
yeah. We didn't. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. We played the Wombats more in Gardens.
You did? Okay.
Broadcasting from the offleaseonly.com studios. Offleaseonly.com. Open daily 10 to 8. Now offering free local delivery and no payments for 90 days. Save thousands. Offleaseonly.com. This is 97.9 WRMF Palm Beach.
It's time to wake up and let the weirdness begin. It's the KVJ show to start your morning. Kevin is the host. And his skin pigment is whiter than Casper the Ghost. Virginia sounds like this. Nickname Vicious Beast. So don't get her pissed. It's Jason. Talks like a spaz. And they love to talk about Bigfoot and stats. So get ready, here we go. You're listening to 97.9 with the KVJ show.
Good morning. What's up? Happy Tuesday. Welcome to the KVJ show. Another day, another squirrel suck shirt.
Oh, do you
many
have
of
a
those do you
whole
have?
collection?
Got one in blue yesterday. Got one in red today.
I only regret not getting more. This is the last one. I tried to get as many as I could. It's just time crunch.
Yeah.
Then I'm thinking, why is this squirrel video under such a time crunch? It's not like it's a topical thing.
Why did you get an extra large?
I know. I have to.
You're not an extra large.
I went to Walmart sometime, depending on the shirt.
You got that at Walmart, huh?
I did, and then I ended up giving it to somebody else to print it for me.
Oh, okay. So you bought the actual T-shirt, and then someone else did the press on letters. It says "Squirrels Suck."
It is way too big. I have to wash it. Hope the letters don't fall off.
You got to wash it 18 times, and the letters will fall off when you do that.
It's gonna look a real low budget.
Good, nice. That's fantastic. I already got like a little wet spot up there.
I Febrezed it to try to get the wrinkles out of it because it was stuck in a bag all weekend. So when I took it out this morning, I'm like, oh man, it's really wrinkled.
Yeah.
And it's laundry month.
And it's 3 sizes too large.
It's way too big. Of
Quite a look you've cultivated today. It's
Someone's a fashion icon.
oversized, wrinkled.
I look terrible. My hat doesn't match.
Good news is, it's still under the quarantine. We're still kind of there, so it's, less. I've noticed just even on the videos and everything that, celebrities are doing, not everybody looks as fresh and popping. So I think everybody's kind of like, we're on a lower standard of beauty.
I just read an article, and I don't know how accurate it is, but it says body dysmorphia is on the rise because of Zoom meetings. People are they're constantly looking at themselves on the screen.
You see something that you think is horrible, but it's just in your head.
Yeah, well, if you're not used to being on a screen and you're noticing you have a double chin and you're in the Zoom meeting, all you're doing is focusing in on your double chin.
Yeah.
And the body dysmorphia is on the rise, according to the article.
I had a double chin. I got it lipoed out. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
I have a double chin. I'm just covering it up with a gray beard. Don't think it's the best move, but it's probably
ways.
It's just a fuller gray beard.
Just a move.
I was talking to somebody yesterday, and they're like, okay, since we've done this pandemic now, everybody feels like they have to have video conference calls. Why is that? Because can't we just talk and have like an audio conference call? Why does everything now have to be video?
You're right.
And they said, I've noticed that the video conference calls, the quality is not as good. The audio is tinny. It's cutting everybody out. It's a lot more awkward. Our phone calls that we would do, conference calls, used to run smoothly, but yet because the technology is there now, every business feels like they just have to, like there's some kind of criteria.
I think it checks the boxes for we are looking each other in the eye and working.
Maybe or
Maybe
they
it's
feel
the-
like we're plugged in, that we're technologically advanced. We're not dinosaurs. We're so
Yeah.
proactive.
It's all of it.
But they're saying it's unnecessary because the quality's not as good and they're not as productive ultimately as just the regular conference phone call.
But your boss can see you. You know, I mean, everybody can see each other. I do kind of get it where, like, you know, the phone call is way more impersonal. The video thing, you're like, okay, we have more of a connection.
Well, it's the hotness too. Everyone's talking
Exactly,
about Zoom.
that's it.
Yeah, it's trendy.
It's trendy
They feel
right
like
now.
they're just only doing it because it's trendy and they're not really analyzing whether it's more effective and the right thing to do.
And I even noticed I was praising Zoom about a week and a half ago. The last two weird whatevers we've done, and I even noticed in the cocktail hour, maybe so many people are using it now, but mine has a terrible drag and a terrible delay on it, and it's not making. I mean, I'm thinking about canceling weird and whatever because the Zoom was so off last time.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a lot of latency, a lot of. Like Beckett would freeze.
Is it the Wi-Fi? Because remember, that's the trouble that I had last weekend for the cocktail hour. I was mad because mine kept freezing and I couldn't hear anything you guys were saying. And I actually wanted to put my fist through the computer. And then I hardwired it this past week right to the internet connection, and it didn't do that.
Yeah, I'm not sure what everyone else is doing. I know that Beckett kept on going in and out, and it was a bit distracting.
It's
So
annoying.
if
It
it's-
messes with the flow.
Well, if it's glitching, I don't think that's enjoyable for the person listening.
No, and that's just kind of it because it does seem like I'm hearing more complaints over the last couple of weeks about video conference calls for whatever reason
Yeah.
than I was when it first started off.
The Wi-Fi, I think, is strained. They've talked about how, you know, at certain points and times, you got all these people on it now that maybe weren't on it before.
Yeah.
I think that might be right. There might be some truth to that.
I know up in Tequesta, they are not up to speed.
Yeah, I think you guys are on 1G, aren't you?
I don't know if we have a G.
Yeah, okay. You're
I think
lower
we're
in
still
the
on
alphabet.
F. I think we're on F.
Okay, still trying to get through it. Well, you can dial us up if you are doing the video thing. We are too. We're on YouTube. You can see us right there live. You can dial us up on your flat screen TVs if you're so technologically advanced. You know, you can take us anywhere on your phones too, video and audio and podcasts and all that kind of like great stuff. I know that people are picking up new technologies. KVJ is on every single platform you could possibly imagine. If you have any questions about where you can find us on one of those platforms, you can just send us a text right now. We'll answer right back. 877-979-WRMF.
It's the KVJ dirt of the day. It's the KVJ dirt of the day. Virginia, take it away, cause you know we need that dirt of the day.
Well, coming up in just a second, we had told you about the Rise Up New York telethon that was going to be on last night, hosted by Tina Fey. Just how much money did they make to go towards some beautiful COVID relief causes? I will tell you coming up in your dirt. Before we get into that, you think you had a busy Mother's Day thanking your baby mama, Future. He had a really busy Mother's Day trying to honor all 6 of the different women who he has children with.
That's
Oh, wow,
a
yeah.
busy day.
6 different ladies he took to social media to honor each and every one and point out the special things about them. You know, he's got a 17-year-old. He's got a 5-year-old. He's got an 18-month-old. He's got a 7-year-old. He's got an 11-year-old. And then he's got another one. 16-month-old.
Have they all ever been in the same room together?
I doubt it.
That's tough.
Most of them, he had beautiful, glowing, just really kind things to say. The only one he did not have kind things to say about is a girl named Jessica Smith. That's the one that I want to know about. Apparently, they've been in multiple court battles regarding money over the 17-year-old that they share.
So did he diss her during the?
He failed to mention her. But he mentioned all the other ones, including Sierra. You know, Sierra has one of his kids. They share a 5-year-old, Future Junior.
Okay, Future Junior.
Yes.
Okay.
That just makes me laugh. In other news, it looks like that guitar played by Kurt Cobain during Nirvana's MTV Unplugged performance is going to go up for auction. It was in 1959. You probably know what this is, Bird. Martin D. 18E.
Sure.
He played it in the Unplugged series back in '93. It was just 5 months before his death, and so this guitar is like an iconic piece of musical equipment. They're expecting it to get somewhere around $1 million. Wow.
Yeah, I could see that.
That's huge. And finally here, last night, Tina Fey hosted that virtual telethon, Rise Up New York. Lots of big-name celebrities stepped up for the hour-long event. Mariah Carey, Jennifer Lopez, Alicia Keys, John Bon Jovi was there, Jimmy Fallon was there, and dozens of other big stars. Huge money. Do you have a clippy?
I do. I got Jaybird's boy Billy Joel
Ooh.
performing.
Sounds good.
He does sound good, yeah. I can sit there and listen to that all day long.
What song is that?
Seen the lights. Miami 2007. Miami 27. My gosh, it's Seen the Lights Go Down on Broadway. Miami 2017. Hold on, Miami
Never mind.
20.
We're good. We're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they raised more than $115 million that is going to the Robin Hood organization. And that will, of course, go to a lot of COVID relief and food relief for people. So a beautiful effort hosted by Tina Fey and all of her celebrity friends last night.
Miami 2017. I forgot. Yeah, it's a. I've been listening to that song for so long. We've passed the year that it's about. Miami 2017.
Oh, it wasn't from 2017?
No, that was the name of it. That song was written in 1976.
Oh, wow.
Off of the Turnstiles album. Yeah.
Wow.
That's how long. That's how old that song is.
That's crazy. And that's what's going on in your Dirt of the Day.
It's time for viral audio.
So hide your kids, hide your wife.
Double rainbow all the way across the sky.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
A couple other songs to check out from artists in quarantine, including the comedy of Adam Sandler. Wrote this little song and put together a video with it as well. You can see like his daughters, a little bit about his house. That's kind of cool to check and see all that kind of stuff. That's good. There you go.
That sounds like my poor panda's day.
Oh, yeah.
When
Yeah.
toast is a big part of your day.
Not leaving the house, working from home, just eating everything in sight. Like, it's just, it puts you into a lethargic cycle.
It really does.
I'm in it too. It's like all we do is eat and look at each other and sleep.
Yeah, I mean,
It's weird, man.
I went to go get ice the other day, and I stayed out a little bit longer just to look for things I didn't need. Because I'm like, it's an event. I'm getting ice. It's a cool thing to do.
Yeah, man. Headspace, weird over here.
Got another quarantine tune for you as well. This is a parody of the Friends theme. All right.
We got to get out of this quarantine.
Yeah, we do.
Will you punch me in the ears so I can't hear that ever again?
It's got to end. It's got to end just for the parodies.
I feel like that's the third Friends
the
quarantine
same
parody.
song.
It is.
I feel like I've heard it already.
I swear to you, that is the third different parody for the Friends.
I feel like I'm living the same day over and over again with the same parody songs with the same crap every
can't.
day.
Well, it didn't even rhyme the right way.
Oh.
I can feel the heat from Virginia's body.
I've been so mad.
Make it end.
Do you need more KVJ Show? Find everything KVJ at kvjshow.com.
What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about? What's on your mind? Are you thinking about? What are you thinking about?
What you got on your mind today, Jay Bird?
Got some devastating news, Virginia. I did my tracker on my squirrel costume that I got. Now I'm doing this more as a PSA, and I talked a little bit about this on the regular or the after the show podcast. I paid for overnight delivery for my squirrel costume.
I know this song and dance.
It was an extra, I think, $25 to get it
Seems
here.
like money well spent.
Well, I had that along with my pizza socks. I 24-houred those because my pizza socks are now ruined. holes just kind of tying.
Something tells me you wear socks hard.
I wear socks real hard. I started wearing shoes this year instead of sandals, and I'm just going through socks left and right. But it's not going to get here. They're saying now till it was supposed to get here today. They're saying midnight. Midnight tomorrow. I'm like, midnight? They're dropping stuff off at midnight?
They are. They're even dropping stuff off on Sundays now. I see like the Amazon truck driving around my hood.
I told you the other day, I was up doing prep before the show, and out of the corner of my eye, I see someone prowling around the front of the house, and I'm like, oh, it's about to go down, y'all.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like looking around, seeing what was going on. It was an Amazon driver.
Just know if you're doing the overnight delivery or even that 2-day delivery, there's a good chance you're going to pay for it, and it's not going to be there in the time that you want. But I wonder if I didn't do the overnight delivery, would that have taken me another 8 days to get here?
So I think overnight now means 3 days.
Agreed.
2 to 3 days now means a week.
I think you're
And
right.
a
You need a
week
sliding chart
now
to figure
means
this out?
2.
I think you're totally right.
That's what I'm noticing, and so just take it like that.
Well, there was a hat that I want. All of the I Hate Squirrels hats. All of those.
Who makes those?
Exactly. There is a website. There's somebody that makes them.
There's an anti-squirrel group?
There is an anti-squirrel group, but those things weren't going to get here till June 13th.
That's what happened to Panda. He ordered me a Mother's Day gift, and he said it's going to be here June 30th.
Yeah, so
Wow.
just know the whole mailing system is jacked up right now. Don't expect it to be regular. I think it's going to, like you're saying, add 2 to 3 days to whatever little menu item you're doing.
At least.
I mean, scroll costume?
Double. Whatever the days are, just double it.
By the way, not a lot of squirrel costumes and clothing. Kind of a lower market.
I can see that being on lower demand.
It's on the lower demand of
Yeah.
things.
Well, listen up, costume manufacturers. There's about to be a rush.
Local place has all the local places I called that's doing appointments. Not one squirrel item at all. Yeah, weird.
Bizarre.
At all, huh?
At all.
Wow. Okay. Apparently squirrels aren't that popular.
They are not.
Virginia, what you got on your mind today?
Well, my phone started blowing up yesterday. 2 different friends of mine were texting me, and they're like, what is Kevin Ralston up to? And I was like, what do you mean? I don't know. I'm not with him. I don't watch him all day.
What is he up to?
I pass him off to the Mexican Queen after lunchtime. He's not mine anymore.
Who's asking this?
So I guess you put on your Facebook that you had gone to some salon in Boca to get a haircut, and they wanted to know why you weren't going to the hair club. And I'm like, you got to ask him. They're like, will you ask him for me? So I'm here asking you
I
that.
totally get why you didn't answer that lightning rod of controversial. That's a very controversial statement.
I know. And I was like, wait, he's at a hair salon? I didn't understand. And they're like, yeah, look on his Facebook.
Yeah, it was a Mexican queen. She took my son Cannon to go get a haircut in Boca, and for some reason she posted up there that she was there, and she won't get her own social media. I don't know why.
So it
And-
looks like you're just visiting random barbershops.
Yeah, and I'm like, just get your own social media. She's like, oh, she likes mine because I've cultivated all the follows and everything, and everybody she wants to spy on, is on my Facebook, and so it's just too much work and effort for her. And
She's a ghost. She can go and look at everybody else's stuff without having to post.
And she didn't really she really doesn't ever post anything, but every now and then she'll click something or other, and people are asking questions on why I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. And she doesn't tell me or anything like that. Yeah, people were texting, being like, how are you in Boca right now? And I'm like, I'm not. I'm here at the radio station. My son's getting a haircut. I get why it's confusing.
Does your Facebook do that thing? So if for some you can tag somebody and it'll go, Jason Pennington is with Virginia Sinicki, and it says you're with them when you're really not.
Well, if you're in a picture that I post, it could do that.
It does, and it
It'll say
causes
that-
confusion with people that.
Even if I post it like later in the day, like people will think that, at that moment, they look at the time it was posted. Oh, they were together at that time.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily mean you were. It's not an excellent way to track people.
No, back in the day, someone got really mad at me because they thought I was lying to them. They go, I see it on Facebook. It says they were with Jason Pennington at 9:28.
Well, I get why they were suspicious. I mean, look at you. You look a little suspicious.
Why?
I got some questions. That's all. That's all I'm going to say.
All right.
Talking about hairdressers, Jay Bird play a fun little game you can see on KVJ TV. I was watching, I I put up all the news networks. I put up Fox on one TV and I put CNN on the other so I can get completely confused.
So you can have dueling reports.
Yeah. It's amazing to watch both of them at the same time.
They would actually cage match each other if you let them.
If you are watching the two, you would think you live in two different Americas.
I wish they would let them fight, like physically.
It's pretty unreal. So that's why I do that, just to kind of, I figure if I watch the far right versus the far left, maybe somewhere in the middle I can discern the truth.
It's not a bad idea.
If you did a battle royale of all of the the national news outlets,
I would watch that.
People would watch that.
I would pay-per-view that.
So I'm watching CNN. They're talking about different parts of the country opening up, and they're talking about Palm Beach, and they showed the Voodoo Bayou at downtown the Gardens. I was like, oh, look at that.
If it hadn't been for the coronavirus, we were supposed to be out there last weekend celebrating their grand opening.
Oh, wow. Okay.
They opened at the exact time the coronavirus shut it down.
Yeah, I went there right before the shutdown.
I know. I saw you there.
Yeah.
You were leaving as I was going in.
And so I just had the audio on the TV, and I heard a voice. I'm like, going, that sounds familiar. Who is that?
I know that voice.
And I went and I rewound the TV, and I looked, and there's this masked individual, but they're talking about hair salons opening in Palm Beach. And I'm like, okay, the voice plus hair salons, Palm Beach, that's Justin. That's Virginia's hairdresser that was on CNN yesterday.
Isn't that crazy?
It is.
I didn't even know it was him.
He's wearing the mask, and so I was like, okay, but I went on the voice and put it all together with contextual clues, and then I looked also at the shirt that he's wearing, and I see the J&G there. Aha, that is, I believe, your hairdresser.
I texted him that picture, and I'm like, are you on CNN right now? And he's like, oh my gosh. And I think he went to go look, but it had already passed.
Okay.
So he couldn't see it. But then, yeah, somebody else sent him that later. He had just done a bunch of interviews. He'd done some for the local affiliate, and he was just talking to whoever because they're downtown.
Okay, so do they reach out to him, or does he reach out to them for this kind of news press conference?
No, they reached out to him. They were, I guess, going into like downtown areas and just looking for action, and they found action, and they were like, hey, what are you guys doing? Because they were like sanitizing and teaching all their employees all the new like safety precautions and how you got to clean this and handle this differently and touchless, and like it's a lot.
I can see that. I noticed watching all the stories on the Sun Sentinel today that they had sent one photographer down Atlantic Avenue in Delray, and they took all the photos for like 5 people's stories.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, everything was, it was a barbershop, then a hair salon, then it was the office on Atlantic Avenue in Delray. I'm like, okay, they must have just sent somebody big, hey, go take a bunch of photos of different places. And then he came back and said, hey, here's your photos.
I like what a lot of them were doing. The Sun Sentinel and the Miami Herald have both like decided to highlight these little businesses, and they're following those businesses and telling their stories and giving updates. It gets
cool.
It gets you invested in the personal stories of those people. I think it's really smart.
Yeah, and it is all about personal stories.
Yep, that's it. If you become like, oh, I love these people, I cheer for them, you're going to go back to that platform to go see how they're doing.
Yeah, there's a lot of places that I'm looking at and just, trying to see exactly what is going on. And I was on the Sun Sentinel page today, and they had something about like Duffy's restaurant shutting down. I'm like going, wait, it was like the second most trending story. And I looked, I'm like going, that's from the end of March. I'm like, what is going on with that?
I've noticed that sometimes where an old story is trending, and I click on it and I go, this is from a year ago. What's
you got to look
happening?
at the dates, because it's weird how some stuff pops back up in the news cycle.
Right.
And if it's not fresh, I don't want to read it.
I don't either.
This corona changes every day. So
Sure.
Even if you give me stuff from Monday, it's old, y'all.
Yeah, no, I hear you. So, I don't know what their status is now.
Refresh and look at the dates, and don't be reading old news and let it trick you.
That's why I didn't like it, because I'm like, okay, well, what is their status today?
Exactly.
Can you do carry out or no?
Yahoo News is notorious for that. You'll see something trending, and you'll, what the heck? Wait, that story's from 2 years ago. What are you doing? Then it's linked up to a video.
I hate that.
That has nothing to do with
Weird.
the story.
It's like a trick.
It is a trick.
That's why Yahoo News is not my favorite to go to.
They're terrible.
I don't like it.
Yeah, stopped doing them a while ago. Also, I got something on my mind today. Thought I would drop this in here. It is the one sense of normalcy that if you're a football fan, I think you're just hoping, you got your fingers crossed. You just are like, please, I hope we can somehow figure out a way to do a season. And I'll take anything, honestly. If it's nobody in the stands and, playing, I'm all good with that. Dr. Anthony Fauci, he's saying that COVID-19 will decide if there's an NFL season.
Okay, that's smart.
Yeah, he said it's hard to imagine a season where anytime one player or coach tests positive, their entire team would have to be quarantined for 14 days.
What if that team's on a good streak?
Yeah, that's the whole thing where you just you see something like that, you're like, that's chaos. Like, how could that?
But
possibly happen?
we're still far from the fall.
Yeah.
So
You are.
they're putting things in place like it's coming. They're preparing for it to be here and saying we don't know yet, but in case it is, we're ready.
Yeah, I mean, you're just trying to figure it out all. But
But what about the workouts where they're supposed to all be together? Like practice and throwing and
That's
stuff.
just it. As you think about the practicality of it, and you have to work through all these different scenarios, and that's, I'm sure, what they're doing. So when you get a little bit of a taste of what the meetings must be like with teams in the NFL, saying, okay, here's a scenario where everything's going great. You're in week 4, we're cruising along, and then, the third string quarterback gets coronavirus. And do you just quarantine them, or now is the whole team, because they've been having practices, have to quarantine?
I hope they're not in shape. I'd like to see the athletes all portly and out of shape and kind of fat. It's more relatable for me.
Oh,
I'm like,
got it,
okay, yeah. That guy's struggling.
I hate to break it to you, I think they are still working out.
Yeah,
I'm
they can
just-
still
yeah.
work out.
But I'm just saying, out of shape athletes, I think there's something there.
Oh, you do?
Misery loves company.
Yeah, that sounds unwatchable.
If the best football player gained like 30 pounds of fat, if Brady put on 40 pounds of fat,
He would never.
He's working out. Don't worry. Tom Brady's doing his workouts.
He's extra working out. He wants to put it to the Patriots so bad.
So bad.
He's finding a gym somewhere. Yeah, don't worry about him. I thought I'd let you know, too, that Tua, the Dolphins quarterback of the future, he just signed his deal with the Dolphins, a 4-year rookie deal worth $30.3 million. So he is locked in. And he already took some of that money. There's a video going around where he bought his mom a new car for Mother's Day.
Oh,
So,
that's sweet.
yeah, you get to the NFL, mama starts getting stuff. That's going to be great. I mean, if you're an NFL mama, as soon as
Finally.
you're getting a house, you're getting a car, it's like the lottery. It's like everything you put up with that kid for life is like, oh, it just all comes to fruition now.
Return on investment.
It is. It is. And this is pretty cool, too. Tua right now has the 2 top-selling jerseys in the NFL.
That's a big deal. I always hear them talking about, who's got the top selling jersey. They do that with wrestling too.
Yeah, it's a big
at
deal.
the end of each event, they go, who is the top selling merchandise person here?
He's outselling Tom Brady's new Tampa Bay Buccaneer jersey. That's how big Tua is.
Wow.
Yeah, the number 2 jersey is the Dolphins teal jersey with Tua's, and he's going with the number 1. And then the number 1 selling jersey is the white away jersey for the Dolphins.
So Tua, he gets a cut of that, right? I'm sure in his contract he gets some of the percentage of the sales.
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure. It depends. I've never really, seen what that means as far as selling merchandise and what a player gets off of that. But
He should.
yeah,
You definitely should.
Yeah, there's going to be residuals, and obviously you can. I'm sure they even have metrics where they can tell how many tickets almost a player is responsible for, because you can tell that ticket sales go up when somebody signs with the team. Tampa Bay has been able to do that with Tom Brady and track that.
Seems like there's metrics for everything.
There is. People love metrics. They try to justify money wherever it might go. So thought that was kind of cool. And I saw the white jersey, and I'm like going, gosh, that's awesome. But I'm like, what do you think of a middle-aged guy wearing a football jersey? Do you think that guy's a total tool? Or are you going, oh, it's cool, it looks good? Because I'm trying to figure out where it's at, because I think my wife is like, I don't know where she's set on it. I don't think she thinks it's a big deal, but I've heard a lot of people be like going, dude, come on, you're a middle-aged man. You look like a tool.
Well, screw those people.
No.
Those kind of people annoy me. Those are the people that are unhappy with their own life.
Thank you. You're a football fan.
Okay.
Show your pride in your team. And look, in this times, really, we're going to be upset about guys wearing jerseys.
Well, it's
If it
not
makes
that.
guys
It's not
happy.
upset. It's not that you get angry. You're just like,
I mean, but keep in mind who you're talking to. I'm a guy who wears donut rompers to work.
you got a wrinkled squirrel suck shirt on.
Yeah,
right now.
I mean-
It's 2
He
sizes
has not
too big.
said set the fashion bar high.
Well, why don't you pipe down, Grandma? Okay, at least I dress my age.
Yeah, so I'll put that up on the do a quick little Twitter poll just to see where people are set on that. But it is the #1 jersey, and I told my wife, I'm like, going, if you ever want to get anything for me,
My birthday is coming up. Oh yeah, you got a birthday.
yeah, I do. That white Tua jersey, that's what I want. Twitter poll and just see where people are and get the temperature when it comes to football jerseys. Let's talk about Tua having the #1 jersey in the NFL, and I'm like, ooh, I think I want that #1 away jersey. And I know some people are like, come on, man, guys in jerseys. So I said, what is your typical thought of a guy over 30 in a football jersey when it's not game day? 90% of the votes so far are he's lame.
Oh.
Jeez. Wow.
Well, they came quick.
Wow. Okay. All righty. Well, there you go. I just got to decide if I'm going to battle through the lame thoughts or maybe it's not the best look.
Do you, boo?
Yeah, I hear you. Lame.
Oh, you've given up, Dad.
Yeah, that's just it.
A lot of us have.
You're not even a dad yet.
I know.
It's like,
Yeah.
give up. I can't do it.
Yeah, it does. It starts to hit hard. I was talking about, I was watching Outer Banks, and they're like, well, this guy must be 50. He's got New Balance shoes in his room. I'm like, I look down at my feet. I'm like, I got New Balance shoes.
They're comfortable. They're great for your feet.
All I need is these New Balance shoes and a football jersey.
You know what you are.
Oh, man. Yeah, you just don't, you fight it, though. You don't want to be, oh, wow, he's got on the atypical, because I think you ask yourself, and I think you tell yourself when you're younger, be like, I'm never going to be that guy. I'm not going to be that. And as you start to become that guy at that age, like, you don't even, it happens and you don't even realize it. You're wearing football jerseys and a style of sneaker, and you have no clue how out of touch you are.
At least you are what you are, though. I feel bad for, the moms trying to look like their daughters and
You're right.
going
Yes.
out, and maybe the outfit doesn't fit you quite the way it fits your daughter, but you're still rocking it, and it just looks kind of sad.
Yeah, I think what it is, to me, the secret of it is, and this is what I would like, because I don't try hard enough in the fashion game to understand it. But it'd be nice if somebody would put together a list of here are the good age-appropriate brands. These are things you can wear where you'll still look good, but you'll look your age and not like you're trying to be something you're not.
Age-appropriate, body-appropriate, too.
Yes.
Because sometimes I think we live in the past and think that, what we wore back in high school is still okay to wear. And
Sure, yeah.
if you're not rocking that high school body, it doesn't look the same.
Right.
Just don't ever buy anything from Urban Outfitters in a pinch. I did. I accidentally bought skinny jeans for one of our events.
Yeah.
And I had some weight to me.
That's a crime.
Skinny jeans on a portly man did not look good. It was such a terrible look.
Why didn't I get a picture of that?
There are other pictures of it. It looked like I was wearing these painted on leggings. It looked like I was trying to be young and I wasn't.
Yeah, there were a couple of places that I used to always get clothes that I realized in my 30s, all right, I gotta bail out. Hollister, obviously. I think if you're probably over 24, 25, you're like, okay, that's a store you can age out of pretty quickly.
And I don't think they want your old ass in there. I
No.
think Hollister is that
You're
kind
bring
bringing
down
down
the
the,
cool factor,
vibe.
yeah.
When the
definitely.
kids look around and see you in there, now it's not cool.
I dated somebody that used to work there, and they definitely have a they have a
They
thing.
want you to not feel comfortable.
Yes.
Their sister store, Abercrombie and Fitch, I wore that all through college and into my 20s. And then at some point, I'm like going, I don't think these clothes are for me anymore.
Well, even if I wear an extra large that should fit my body type or
Yeah.
a large,
Yeah.
it still doesn't fit right. It still kind of reminds you that you have man boobs. Even though the shirt fits you, it highlights everything you don't want to highlight.
They do. They especially, and I think they've recently started to try to get more variety in their sizing for people that aren't Abercrombie models, realizing that's not all of or a large portion of America.
For your pear-shaped clientele.
Yes.
Do you have a body like Barney? Well,
They have men's, women's, and then pear-shaped. There are 3 different portions of the store.
which fruit are you? Are you an apple? Are you a
Yeah.
pear?
That's kind of what it is. So, yeah, so it just, That's life. Just trying to get it all together.
After this quarantine, we're all apples and pears.
I'm drinking water. I ran on my treadmill yesterday. I'm
really?
trying, Coach. I'm trying. Now, the question is, can I hold on? Can I hold on to this thing?
Yeah.
Is this day one?
This is day 2, really.
What'd you drink yesterday?
I had a little bit. I had a little bit of squirt while I was here. I didn't finish it. I had a little bit to get me through it.
It seems
Stop
like
judging me.
I'm just asking questions.
the people that I know are going one of two different ways. And when the quarantine's over, you can either say, I'm exiting quarantine as a hunk or as a chunk.
I'm chunk.
And like the Mexican queen, she's kind of been getting on it. She's drinking nothing but water now, watching what
Good
she's
for
eating. She's
her.
dropping some LBs. So I think she's going to exit more on the positive.
Yeah,
But not hunk. What's the female equivalent?
Yeah, you're right.
I'm trying to back away, and it's tough. It's almost like a drug, but I'm backing away from delivery.
You are.
I almost hit send last night at 8:30, and I stopped myself.
What were you going to get?
I had Tijuana flats, and then it was up to like $46. It was 9 o'clock, and almost like a drug addict. What are you doing? I was like shaking. It was
Oh,
I
pumpkin.
just had to stop. I go, enough is enough. You don't always need delivery.
This is why we need those cameras in your place. This is the kind of content.
The conversations.
Yeah, this is the kind of content I'm looking for.
I talk to myself a lot.
We know.
Yeah. A man who's having that meltdown.
I would watch the live feed. I would get nothing done at my house, though. Maybe it's a good thing you're not on a live feed.
Well, coming up here in just a bit, I think I'm going to post up on social media. I always like seeing this list because it is often eye-opening for me. What do you secretly judge people for? And based on what I'm seeing right now with the early trends, you're judging dudes over the age of 30 that's wearing a football jersey when it's not game day. You definitely are. So what else other than that would you do? I'll put that up on our Facebook, Instagram right now. You can go check and throw in your answers. Celebrity birthdays today. Got to say what up and happy birthday to Tony Hawk. You know what? That's one dude that is still dressing the same as he did when he was 16.
I think he's still skateboarding and doing tricks and kind of nailing life.
Yeah.
He gleams the cube. He does ollies. He's crushing it.
In his lifetime, he must have bought 80,000 pairs of Vans.
I don't think he has to buy them, Kev.
That's true.
I think he's got a little, here you go, you wear it,
yeah.
make us look good.
Maybe that's why he's still wearing skate clothes. It's like, hey, anything that's not a skate clothes, you got to buy it. He's like, eh.
Is he the best skateboarder of all time, or is he just the most popular one?
He's the most popular, no
Okay.
doubt. I'm not big enough in the skate world to know.
There's probably some new shredders.
That just, I
Some
mean,
young kids.
doing new cutting-edge things that Hawk couldn't even imagine.
I would say arguably he's done more for the sport of skateboarding than anybody ever.
Sure.
In it, with the movies that he's done, the merchandise, and he does a lot of stuff on TV. Also got a cutie patootie birthday here. Happy first birthday to Lily Ray from Mommy Dad Brothers and all your fur siblings. There's a photo of
Aw,
her there on
Good picture.
what
Yeah.
a sweetie.
That's on KVJ TV right now on YouTube. You can check it out. Love the photos when you can include them. Mail at kvjshow.com is how we get them. MAIL at kvjshow.com. So how do you handle it when you're around somebody that has done something that is rather embarrassing for them? Do you pretend like it didn't happen? Do you just look at them and smile? Do you actually say something?
I wouldn't say anything. If they're mortified, I would probably try to pretend like I didn't see it, but I just giggle to myself.
Okay, well, Jaybird had kind of an awkward situation with a neighbor, and he's kind of like walking by, and somebody's chilling on their courtyard.
Now, which neighbor is this? Is this the one that's feeding the squirrels and
No.
making them all crazy?
And I like that guy. I don't want that guy to think I don't like him because he's nice. We never talk, but I don't care that he's feeding the squirrels.
Well, that's what's making the squirrels all uppity.
I hear you. No, I was walking Chewy, and it was at nighttime, and I typically don't walk Chewy at nighttime, but he had to go pee, and I wanted to give him a little exercise. So you know how I live? I live in an area where all of the courtyards are pretty close to each other. So I was walking Chewy, and I hear this loud fart come from the courtyard. And I was pretty close to the courtyard, but it was loud to the point where I'm like, whoa. So I look over just on instinct, and you could tell whoever farted go, oh man, that was kind of loud. So they get up. It was this dude. He stands up, and as he stands up, me and him lock eyes with each other.
dang.
And I didn't know what to say, and I go, hey, man. And he just looks at me, and then he just sits right back down quickly. It was so awkward.
Quarantine farts are a different level.
It was.
I feel for the guy.
It was so loud. And it wasn't like I was right up on his courtyard. I mean, I was a good ways away from it, but you could tell he goes, oh, crap. That was real loud.
It's a tough moment. I think we've probably all been through that moment when you fart and you look around to see if anybody's there. And the best is, like, obviously when nobody isn't. But the worst is when somebody is and you do lock eyes and you both know what just happened and you're like, how
So
do I
now-
respond in this moment?
You've learned from his mistake. If you fart on your courtyard, stay low.
This is a PSA, really, because if you
it is a PSA.
if you live in a townhouse with a courtyard like where I live at, people can hear your farts.
And when you fart, just keep it low. Don't make no eye contact with
And if you
nobody.
do fart, do not rise above your
Hit the
face.
ground.
It looked like
It was still questionable until that point. Like,
Right.
it's like, okay, did I really hear a fart?
It could have been an animal.
Where did that come from? Because there's two questions. One, was it really a fart? And two, where exactly did it come from?
I feel different.
But
When
by the time you lock eyes and see his face, I mean, without a doubt, there's
It's fart confirmation.
It's complete confirmation.
When I heard it, I'm like, I know that sound pretty well.
You know his toots?
It was a pretty well-defined fart.
That'd be the neighbor fart game. Let's see if Jaybird can pass it. We'll get three of your neighbors. They'll all fart. You try to guess who's who.
You can just tell, you're like, oh my gosh, what have I done? Someone had to have heard that.
Stay low, man. Stay low.
Got another email here that's kind of about an awkward situation in public. It says, I was standing out front of Walmart waiting for my wife to swing around and pick me up. And this older woman was standing a little down from me, likely doing the same. So I smiled, I said hello, and she turned and smiled back. When she did, I noticed she had this massive booger hanging from her nostril.
Oh, boy.
And this is from at least 6 feet away, so you know it was big. So I politely said, hey, you got a boogie. And she turned immediately red and sour and told me not to be so rude.
I would never tell a stranger they have a booger. That is a conversation between acquaintances and friends only.
This happened to me as a kid where it was my mom and me at this store called Pantry Pride in Lake Park, and this woman that we knew walks up, and my mom didn't know her that well, and she had a massive booger, and my mom called her out on it. Goes, hey, you got a booger there, right there, and the woman got defensive. Kind of like what you're talking about there,
yeah.
people. But I think you're helping them out, though.
You are, but some people react wrong and don't know how to take it and just make the wrong move. And now you've created this whole weird thing. If you don't say anything, you don't have all that weird and you let them figure it out on their own because you don't know them and they don't know you. And you're probably never going to see each other again. So why would you try to get involved?
It's a weird mix because I could see if it's somebody that you know, or at least a close enough of an associate, and that's a question too, how close do you have to be before you alert somebody? But if you don't alert somebody that you're close with, you're not cool for not letting them know that they got a booger hanging, back from the cave. But yet, if you let somebody that you don't know at all, a complete stranger, that they got a bat hanging from the cave, then you're not cool there. So it's kind of a weird mix. So what level of association do you have to be if it's your boss, your big boss, and she got a boogie hanging? Should you let her know?
I would never tell our boss that. I remember when my mom did that to that woman, I was mortified as a kid. I was so embarrassed that she called her out on it. I would never say it to our boss.
But wouldn't you tell your sister, Virginia, if she didn't let you know you had a booger hanging, be like, that's not cool. Why wouldn't you tell me?
I would feel more comfortable telling another woman, and I would do it low, and I would do it discreet, woman to woman, and I would let her know that I'm trying to help her out. I was talking to a person at a convenience store checkout, and they had one, and it was a dude, and I'm like, there's no way I would ever tell this guy.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to get involved.
Mm-hmm. Well, that wouldn't make sense. But what about our female boss? Would you tell her?
I would.
You would?
I think I would.
See, I don't think you have good judgment. And you call people out a lot for having. I know you know us.
Because I think it's like a woman thing, a woman code. I want to help a sister out.
Oh man,
Interesting.
I saw how quick it could turn. Because this woman got defensive about being called out.
Yeah, maybe I wouldn't.
And you have a loud voice, and you don't whisper well, and I can hear you trying to say it in the hallway. And
What do you mean?
Yeah, another station hears it. Yeah, it's a bad idea.
Heather in the chat room for YouTube said, dude, I want to know if I'm walking around looking stupid. Yeah, I'm going to feel a little embarrassed, but don't let me walk around like that.
That's the way I would think, and I would want somebody to tell me, and I certainly wouldn't yell at them. But not everybody is set the same.
Well, keep in mind, this is a younger man with an older woman, and he lets her know, and they're complete strangers, and she said that was rude.
It's risky, yeah.
It's a risky move.
It's a risky move.
I have a question. Let's say you're talking to somebody, you know them, but you don't know them that well, or maybe you just met them, and you know that you just had spit fly off of your mouth and onto their face.
Yeah.
Do you call that moment out and say, oh my gosh?
If it's that obvious, I'm like, oh, sorry about that.
Because I've done that before, and they didn't know that I spit, or they acted like it. So then I just called attention to something. I'm like, I just spit on your face. I'm so sorry. Oh, I didn't notice.
If it's very obvious, I think making a quick, subtle joke about it.
Sometimes people don't know. That time that you were talking to that lady and you spit a ham chunk. Kevin spit a ham
Oh, yeah, I remember
chunk.
that, yeah.
We were at a cocktail party and
Yeah.
he was eating these ham hors d'oeuvres. And you saw
Meat
this,
on a stick, yeah.
You saw this ham go ham over ham through the air and land on her cheek, and she had no idea.
I couldn't even believe it. I was just sitting there, and we continued on with about another 5-minute conversation.
And all you could see was ham cheek,
all I was
ham
doing was
cheek,
just
ham
staring,
cheek,
yeah.
ham cheek, ham cheek.
Unreal.
Oh man, I would have said something. Oh my God, I just gave you. Ham
It looked like a slab of bacon. It
That's
was unbelievable.
rough because you're right. That's food, and the whole time you're thinking
She didn't know.
or was she trying to be cool?
No,
she was oblivious.
Oblivious.
Yeah.
Wow. You did the right thing by not saying
Don't
something.
say
Yeah.
anything. Just giggle about it and tell the story again 10 years later on the radio.
Yeah. Might be 20 now. I hate to tell you.
You're right.
Yeah.
20. Dang, Kevin.
Yeah.
You
Sorry.
old?
That's an old ham story.
It is. Yeah. Old ham.
I feel like I haven't heard that in a while.
Really?
There's a good chance that woman's still not alive.
She was older when the ham happened.
Okay, well, rest in peace.
She probably got buried with the ham still on her face.
Nobody told her.
She went the rest of her life.
Oh, damn.
Damn the ham. All right, anybody got any comments on what is the social etiquette, the proper thing to do? How close of an association do you need to be? And somebody texts in, how many of your listeners right now are looking in the rearview mirror doing a booger check right now? This guy is.
They should. You need to. You got to be diligent.
You're right, especially if you're not sure. That's the great thing about wearing a mask. You don't have to worry about food in your teeth or boogies in your nose.
And if you throw some sunglasses, no worry if I have boogers either.
Yeah.
When I wear sunglasses with my mask, I look horrifying. I look like I'm going to rob the place.
How many of these awkward situations can you relate to? You ever been through all this stuff? We were talking a second ago about what you do when you see a stranger with a boogie on their face. Do you say anything to them or not? And how close of an association do you need to be before you do say something?
I just had a real heart-to-heart with Virginia about correcting or telling our boss that she has a booger. We just don't think it's a good idea.
Yeah, he's kind of changed my position.
Okay, so you're on the side of now don't do it, huh?
I think when you tell a boss something like that, it almost kind of knocks their power down a little bit. It's sort of, I think it's sort of seen as disrespectful.
And do you want
Okay.
to do that? Do you want your boss to think that you're trying to like bow up? I certainly don't.
Well, if you tell your boss they have a booger in front of other coworkers, that's what I mean when I think they might look at it as, oh, that's a sign of disrespect. You're knocking me down.
You're embarrassing me in front of other coworkers and trying to make it look like you're on some high level.
Well, you're calling them like you are calling them out from saying, hey, look. You have a booger.
You're right.
Spotlight's on you now.
How do you feel about saying something to a coworker in front of the boss?
Depending on the coworker. Do you like that coworker? Do you want to make an example of that coworker?
So can you imagine that one coworker you just can't stand, you're in front of the boss, but hey, you got a massive booger on your nose.
Oh, people do. You know people do that.
It's a power move.
It's a power move.
Other awkward situations. Tell me if you've been through these before. Saying hello or how are you to somebody and then getting totally ignored.
Oh, yes. It's awful. Mixed in with a high five they don't give back.
That's happened, yeah. That happens. Some people around here think they're a little uppity, and you'll say hi, and they'll just pretend like they didn't hear you, and you're like, all right, cool bird.
The thing that I hate worse is when somebody that you kind of know is like waving at you and you're like, hey, and then you look and you realize they're saying hey to somebody behind you.
Yeah, I don't like that.
That's the worst because everybody has seen you in the middle waving, like, going, I'm not waving at you.
Or I don't like when you think you're talking to your friend at Publix and you think, hey, what's going on? And it's not your friend. I thought this guy was Dennys. And I go, hey, Dennys. Hey, oh, wait, you're not Dennys. I'm sorry, sir.
How about putting on a fake smile when you get a terrible gift?
I can do that's fine.
You have to
that's
put on a
easy.
fake smile when you get any gift. I think anytime anybody gives you something, you got to pretend like it's really awesome.
Unless it's like a severed hand. But yeah, other than that.
Somebody gives you a severed hand, you better call the law.
When you've had multiple interactions with somebody, but you can't remember their name and it's too late now to admit it, there are some people that I've known for years and I have no idea what their name is.
That sucks. Yeah.
There's a trick you can do. Just go, hey, how do you spell your name? Because I know a lot of people spell that name kind of different.
It's Sue.
Yeah, so the S is silent? Is it a double S? I knew a guy named
Double S.
Sue?
I knew a boy named Sue.
This is studio?
My name's Bob. Do you spell that with 2 O's?
No, that's boob.
You ever had a situation where you said goodbye to somebody and then you wind up walking in in the same direction?
That is awkward. That could happen here at work.
Yeah, you've already done that officially. We've broken off and then...
Oh, hey.
You say goodbye, then you ride the elevator with them.
We're still together, huh?
Oh, man. Oh, you parked right next to me, too.
And you know they don't like you.
How about when you go in for a hug and the other person goes in for a handshake?
Oh, yeah.
It can be awkward.
Uh-huh. Okay. Ever watched a sex scene with your parents or been watching a movie and you forgot about something that's a little bit too graphic?
Yes.
Was that you that saw Forgetting Sarah Marshall with your mom?
Yes. The opening is full-on male peen.
Yes, right.
Like, it's like full frontal male nudity. And I'm like, oh, my goodness. I was not ready for this.
I brought Jerry Maguire over to my friend's house, and we watched it with his mom, and there is a very graphic sex scene in there, and I forgot, and it starts to come on. I'm like, oh, you might want to fast forward this. It was terrible, and she was really religious.
Oh, no.
Somebody said, I once had a manager that walked by me in the morning and farted, and he acknowledged it, and it was very uncomfortable because I didn't hear him, but he thought I did, so he brought it up. Oh, man, sorry about that. What?
That's awful.
I farted. Oh, you did? I had no idea.
Sometimes you gotta zip your lip.
That's why you just don't know.
Quarantine farts, man. They'll sneak out.
Yes. Always trying to keep you up on the latest in the world of animals. In fact, Jaybird has a squirrel shirt on today, but it says squirrels suck, so I'm not sure if that's a animal positive.
They started this war.
They did, huh? Yeah. Because they're, taunting you, flexing at you?
Dude, one fell on my neck, one bit a neighbor.
You're misguided.
I'm misguided.
The person you should be mad at is your neighbor who's been hand-feeding them nuts.
But I get it.
Your neighbor has made them dehumanize. They're not afraid of you, so now they're just coming to you because every human they see, they think has nuts.
All right, stop bringing up my neighbor. Like, that's like the third time she's done that.
I
She's
know.
trying to get a fight going or something.
I'm just telling you why.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
There you go. Got Beth on here from West Palm to play a round of Dennys or Animal. Hello, Beth.
Hello, good morning.
Are you somewhat of an animal expert, Beth?
No.
That's okay. And, oddly enough for this game, I'm not sure you need to be. This hopefully is going to be rather basic here. We've got some animal noises here. You just have to tell us if these are coming from the real animal or from our producer, Dennys. Okay, Beth?
Okay.
Okay. What we've got
Sounds
here
good.
is the sounds of a cat falling in water. A cat falling in water. Okay, what do you think? Is this Dennys or animal here? Mm-hmm. A wet cat. They did not like falling in the water there.
Did it fall in a lake?
Yeah, I don't know. It sounded like a large body of water, didn't it? The sounds of it? It was big splash.
That sounded good, though.
It did. It sounded really good.
Beth, are you saying Denny's or Animal on that one?
That one's hard. I actually do have cats, but I'm going to say that was Dennys.
Gonna go with Denny's on that? Yeah. Okay.
Yay!
Nice.
Love that. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, you're right. There's a large body of water. This is quite an action scene that we got here for you. This is a cobra fighting a mongoose.
Oh, I've seen video of this before.
Crazy. Yeah, those mongooses, that's what they do. They take out snakes. Not afraid of them like me. I could never be a mongoose. And just sitting there and it's taking on a cobra. What do you think about this? Denny's or Animal here?
Hiss.
What? Wait, what? What's the brand? Is that the... Okay, I hear the hissing. Is that the hissing... Is that that's the snake? And then the other... This is the mongoose?
I would, yeah.
That's what...
Hiss.
Snake?
Hiss.
Mongooses sound like cats falling in the water.
I thought it sounded like an old guy.
Yeah. Get away from me.
Get off my lawn.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. It does sound like an old person. What do you think? Is that Denny's or Animal here, Beth?
I got to go with Dennys again.
Yeah, I think it is Denny's again. Yeah, you're right on that. Yeah. Or you're right. It's a cobra biting an old man. I mean,
Either way, it's great.
it's bad enough the coronavirus are coming after him. We got cobras too. It's terrible. All right, what do you think here? We got
Killer Hornets.
Oh yeah, you know that boy. That's what we need.
That's
Real
a good
time.
one.
Yeah.
Yes.
That one, Dennys.
Murder hornets.
If he didn't do that one, he
Murder
really
hornet.
missed the mark.
Yeah. In fact, what we got here today is ducks fighting for food at a lake. So we're not gonna have the murder hornets this week.
Okay, well, they'll have to be topical next week, I'm sure.
Yeah. Okay. Ducks fighting for food at a lake. Is this Denny's or Animal?
Those are actual ducks.
Actual ducks.
Tough to listen to.
That is tough. Wow. Okay.
She nailed it.
Yeah, no, she did. You are definitely an animal expert here. I know you didn't say that coming in, Beth, but congratulations. That was well played. A solid round of Denny's or Animal. Congratulations on that.
And we've been doing this bit for over a year now. And they said this didn't have the legs to make it a month.
I thought it was going to be a one and done. And then
It's amazing.
I'm
We've got
oddly
a
fascinated
year,
by this.
got a year out of this bit.
Turns out the animal kingdom is large and vast.
Yes. Well, when we started getting into scenes and scenarios.
Denny's confessed to me that he's starting to run out of scenes as well.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, maybe we'll have to arrest this here soon. So we'll
never.
see. No, never. Huh? Okay. All right. Well, there you go. Another round of Denny's or Animal here on the KVJ show. Coming up in just a bit. We just dropped this on our Facebook page. So I wanted to let you know we're asking for people to give graduating seniors one line of life advice. Just one line, something you would say just in one sentence. The life advice you have.
Always check your food bag when you leave a drive-thru.
Yeah, that's
Seriously.
it. Okay. That's some valuable stuff.
I am not even kidding, y'all.
We know you're not, yeah. That's big stuff. Talking about the food bags also coming up here in a bit. Did you hear that there's another major fast food restaurant that is closing its doors for good?
I can't take it anymore. My heart just can't bear it.
Yeah, should I save it or?
Well, now I need to know.
Yeah. It's kind of a big one. They got places around here.
Are we talking out, done, gone?
Gone.
Like a Sweet Tomatoes?
Permanently closing, yeah.
Do
Yeah,
you
you
know if
lost Sweet Tomatoes the other day. You lost another one now.
Do you know if I like this place?
It comes up in conversation a good bit.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
All right.
I know. It's been tough, hasn't it?
Oh, you instantly just gave me sweaty armpits.
The suspense.
It's time for viral audio.
So hide your kids, hide your wife. Double rainbow all the way across the sky.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
That clip in the intro to the viral audio is now somewhat of a tribute. Double rainbow across the sky. You remember that guy?
Yeah.
He sadly has passed.
Aww.
And that really is kind of like a best of viral audio. But I don't remember how many years ago when this guy came out with a great viral video. He was just moved to tears by seeing two rainbows in the sky at the same time.
Hopefully he's riding those rainbows.
Well,
Yes.
we made that clip probably 7 years ago.
Yeah.
And that clip had been out for a little bit.
It
so
had. It's been a while.
It's got to be at least 8 or 9 years ago.
Probably. Yeah, here's the original clip if you don't remember or don't know the double rainbow guy.
Whoa, that's a full rainbow. All the way. Double rainbow. Oh my God. It's a double rainbow all the way. Whoa, that's so intense. Whoa, man. Wow. Whoa. 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 Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Woo. Oh my. Wow. Woo.
Oh.
Yeah! Oh my! Oh my! Oh my God! Look at that! It's starting to even look like a triple rainbow. Oh my God! It's full on double rainbow all the way across the sky. Oh my God!
Oh.
I mean, he's crying.
That is so sweet.
It is.
He's got to be on something, right?
I mean, man, wow.
And that clip right there.
double rainbow, man.
How can you not like that guy?
Yeah.
When you hear that clip, you just want to hug him.
Yeah, and then that clip took off, and he was doing interviews, and then they were coming out with songs. Forget about the double rainbow guy. There you go. Well, R.I.P., baby. Well, this is just some tough news, Jaybird. The other day, I unfortunately had to find out that Sweet Tomatoes has permanently closed its restaurants. I know that you love Sweet Tomatoes. I used to, when I lived in California, I went there every single day for lunch. That was just our thing. Every day we went to Sweet Tomatoes. I couldn't believe how great that place was.
I've been a Sweet Tomatoes fan since 1995. That was the first
Yeah.
time I went to one. And then when I was playing baseball down at Broward Community College, we would
Yeah.
go there almost every day. They had pizza, they had
Everything, yeah.
and some of them were even bigger than others. Like the one here off Palm Beach Lakes was not nearly as big as the one down south. The one down south was huge.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I remember they had the soft serve ice cream.
Oh,
and just
baby,
so
soups,
many.
soups.
Yeah.
Those lucky people of Broward.
Soup, there it is, baby. There's,
Yeah.
I mean, the only place that had 7, 8 soups available. And I'm sure there's other place. Email me if there's other places that
I mean,
have,
you could even mix soups if you wanted to.
if you wanted to.
If you wanted to.
If you wanted to.
Don't know why you would. That's a dumb idea, but
Are
you
you
could.
making fun of me?
Double soups, man.
You can totally mix wonton
Whoa.
and chicken noodle.
Double soups all across the bar.
I'm the double rainbow guy of food.
You're just double soups.
I know, calm down, Bert. It's just soup.
Whoa, man. Double soups. Well, we got another place that is shutting down now. I hate to tell you that Steak and Shake has permanently closed 57 of its locations due to the ongoing coronavirus outbreak.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
So they're not my favorite, but I do have a sadness for that because you hate to see any of them fall.
Sure. Yeah, no, that's just kind of it. That, yeah, I think because what you wonder, or at least I do, is where does this end?
Where does it end?
Are we going? Is this going to be a thing now where almost at least once a week I'm going to give you the news of, whoa, I can't believe they just like forever and ever and ever.
Well, just imagine this. All of a sudden, you're hanging out with all your friends, and then 2 of your friends have been murdered. You're like, okay, who's next? That's basically what it's like. They're gone. They're done.
It's not really that bad.
It's kind of like we're in the movie Scream, but for fast food restaurants.
Exactly. Kevin gets what I'm laying down here.
Nobody stabs shaking steak.
I get double soup guy.
But from a certain point of view, they've been murdered. Steak and Shake's been murdered, dog. Sweet Tomatoes has been murdered. They're done.
Yeah.
Who's next?
I know.
Who is next?
Who is next?
He's a man reeling.
No, I mean, if one of my main restaurants goes out, I will take it hard. Sweet Tomatoes, I was in a mini funk over the weekend.
I think you're finding that maybe like some drive-through places are thriving. Thrive-through. Oh.
Yeah, I didn't like that nearly as much as she did.
That's funny.
Arrive?
Yeah, she really liked it.
Dennis,
She had to stop it down to be like, okay, let me put a little accentuation on that.
Dennis,
Thrive-through.
you got to
Yeah.
edit that out of the show.
Yeah.
I said.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's scary times. I guess we'll just have to wait and see
Uncertain times.
who survives and who does not. Well, talking about a murder movie, this kind of fits right into that. It's the old fun game of kind of like Screw, Marry, Murder, whatever you might want to call it. It's got many different variations depending upon how you want to do it. If murder's too harsh for you, we could call it Screw, Marry, Cancel. We got a cancel society, so it's murder's just too tough. I don't want to hear murder.
Oh, come
Yeah, Screw,
on.
Marry, Cancel. Let's do that. It's
Do-
just so much nicer.
Do they get complaints about that bit?
No, I'm just saying.
All
we
right.
could. Yeah.
He's
I'm
preemptively.
sure you could absolutely get complaints about that.
Murder. I mean, please. Okay, so here's what it is. Basically, what it is, you have to get carnal with one person, another person you marry, and then the other person you just cancel or you just get rid of. You just
Okay.
cast them aside. They're gone wherever they go. Somebody can kill them, or you can just cancel society. They're just dead to me. Okay, Dr. Anthony Fauci, Anthony Cuomo, and Chris Cuomo. Screw, marry, cancel. That's one that I've got for you. I've also got a couple other scenarios here. I've got Joe Exotic, Carol Baskin, and Jeff Lowe. And then I've got Taylor Swift, Katy Perry, and Adele. I love all the clarity that our audience can bring us here on many different important issues, like the double rainbow guy and his sad passing. Somebody said if you guys did not know, the double rainbow guy was on Tosh.0, and he explained that video that he made where he saw the double rainbows.
Did not know that.
Yes, just
Double rainbow all the way across the sky.
yeah, he was very much impressed with that. That apparently on Tosh.0, he explained he was extremely high on mushrooms and whatnot, and that's how the video was taken.
Okay.
So that is one text we got. The next text we got says, no, he was not on drugs. He was my Facebook friend and a really nice guy. He was just one of those guys that was moved by things like this. He thought it was a sign from God to him. So we have battling, conflicting texts.
Of course we do.
Was he or was he not on drugs?
He was on mushrooms.
Oh.
All right, we got a PC version of Screw, Marry, Cancel here. Screw, Marry, Murder, Screw, Marry, whatever you want to do. And we would use another word other than screw, but we just can't do that because of FCC guidelines. So you can call it whatever you want, but you get the concept. Some person you get carnal with, another person you basically just spend the rest of your life with, and the other person you're just done, canceled, gone, out.
They're casted away into the cornfields.
Yes, or wherever you might cast someone away.
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry, I was
Not
watching.
sure how many cornfields we have.
I was
here.
watching Twilight Zone last night. I apologize.
Okay, that's topical at least.
It was Twilight Zone Day yesterday. That's why
it
it
was.
was National Twilight Zone Day. That's why I was watching.
Okay. All the people in their 90s loved it.
Okay, so I'm going to give you first off here, Dr. Fauci, Anthony Cuomo, and then his brother Chris Cuomo. Probably the best question here for Virginia, but screw, marry, cancel.
All
Everybody's
right.
single. You have shots at everybody, Virginia.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna marry Anthony.
Okay, he's the governor.
Yeah. I think I'm going to have a romp with Fauci, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to kill Chris Cuomo.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I think he's a little extra.
Oh, So I'm
Have you watched him?
No,
I
not
watched a
really.
little bit of his quarantine from the basement. and
Yeah.
it was very dramatic.
I
and-
without a doubt cancel or murder whatever we're doing with this game.
Yeah.
With
Chris.
Yeah.
Cuomo.
Oh,
he's
yeah.
he's
It's
a
too
little
much.
extra.
Is he?
The governor, I feel like the man just seems like he's in control. I
Okay,
like his
yeah.
aura. He's not so old. I mean, I think Fauci is a little bit too old for me to marry.
I marry Fauci. I
You do.
have love makings with the governor, and then I definitely cancel
Chris.
Yeah, oh yeah. His show is rough.
Yeah, I haven't really seen it, so.
He's very
He's
extra.
just animated.
And it's coming from,
Yeah.
and I'm very extra.
Me
and I'm-
too. I'm extra. I can't have an extra man. No.
Okay.
It's too much.
Gotcha. Well, the thing about Fauci is if you marry him and he kicks it soon, apparently he's got a lot of contracts and a lot of money, possibly. I'm wondering, yeah, because he's been around for a while.
I'm sure he is set.
Yeah, but then, you got that Cuomo lineage. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm sure they're all set, actually.
They're all set, guys.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
You guys have really kind of knocked the Chris Cuomo down a lot for me because I thought I think I was gonna screw him. I was gonna marry his brother and then cancel Fauci.
Kevin, he would work your last nerve. I can tell right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well then, it's not. I don't think I'll rush out and watch him then. Okay. Screw, marry, cancel here. Joe Exotic, Carol Baskin, Jeff Lowe. This is tough. Okay, who do you screw? Who do you marry? Who do you cancel on this list?
Oh, man, I don't know if you should marry Carol because you're going to end up dead.
That's true. You're right.
But, I mean, I don't know if
She
you
might
should.
have knocked off a couple
I
husbands.
don't think you should marry Joe Exotic either.
No, but Jeff Lowe is hideous. I can't look at those affliction shirts for the rest of my days.
But Jeff Lowe back in the day, he wasn't a bad-looking dude when he was in his prime. But he's not in his prime anymore.
Yeah.
Anyway, which one's Jeff Lowe?
Jeff Lowe's the guy who owns the zoo now. He was the business partner that came in with the affliction shirts. He's the one that
That's
has
all
the
the
really hot
women?
nanny.
Okay, yeah. all
Yeah,
right.
he was the guy that would go to Vegas. He's the guy that seems to be a swinger. Yeah.
All right.
This one's hard.
Yeah, I'm afraid about the disease with Jeff Lowe. These are all, it's very tough. I don't think you want any of this. And you're right with Carol. I mean, you marry her, she might kill you.
I don't think I could. Oh, my gosh. Between Carol and Joe, there's no way I could marry either.
If you know the Tiger King from Netflix, who do you choose? Yeah, this is tough.
I think I marry Jeff Lowe.
Okay.
I think I kill Joe Exotic, and then I think I have lovemakings
You
with
get it with
Carol
Carol.
Baskin. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I was thinking about marrying her, but you're right. Yeah, she kills her husband, so you can't marry her.
Think about it with Jeff Lowe. You know he's going to be playing around with other people, so let him do that, and I'll do my own thing.
Yeah.
He'll be distracted.
Okay.
Oh, this is so hard.
Yeah.
Can I kill myself? Oh, Kev.
It's the toughest one, I think.
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess I don't want to hook up with Jeff. That's for sure.
Don't, but he's in the best shape, probably knows his way around.
He's not in jail.
Yeah.
And there's no talks of murder either.
Yeah, I'm screwing Jeff Lowe, I think.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, think so.
You're going to marry Carol?
I don't think I can because you'll wind up
You're
dead.
marrying Joe Exotic?
I might marry Joe Exotic. He marries dudes. He seems to take good care of them, but though he is very controlling. Yeah, that'd be tough to be married to him.
I would love to see somebody Photoshop your face onto that picture where he's laying with his two husbands shirtless.
Yeah, that could happen. Yeah, maybe oddly enough, I marry Carol Baskin, cancel Joe Exotic, and then screw Jeff Lowe.
But you would argue the best in bed, probably Joe Exotic, right?
I think it'd be Jeff Lowe.
You think it's Jeff Lowe?
But he might be a selfish lover. Okay, I don't know. That's a tough.
I
one.
just feel like Joe Exotic's going to go full gorilla.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
It depends on what you're looking for in life.
Gosh, I don't know. There's no good options on that one.
No.
I don't know if you can win in that.
No.
That's
they're
the
all-
hardest one
Yeah.
you've ever given
That
us.
was a tough one.
Yeah. Okay. Real quick, screw, marry, cancel. Taylor Swift, Katy Perry, Adele. Where do you go with on that and why?
Marry Adele,
Yes.
make love to Katy Perry,
Yes.
and without a doubt, cancel Taylor Swift.
I agree.
Think I'm there with you.
Katy Perry would be too cringy for me to be married with.
Yes.
I think Adele would be cool. I think Adele needs her space. She doesn't need all this extra. Katy Perry, I think she would tire you out.
Adele is smart, she's chill, and she's got that cute British accent.
Yeah.
I think you would get down with Adele's accent.
I love it. And
Yeah.
I really find Katy Perry extremely attractive. I
Yes.
really am very attractive. I couldn't do her personality, man. I've seen her in too many interviews.
That's what John Mayer said.
I get it.
She's fun for a night, y'all.
Ow! There's a lot of dumbass criminals to talk about, baby. It's the whacked out news. People breaking the law. Ha ha, fighting in the nude. Ha, drunk people pooping in the street. Ha ha, it's the whacked out news. So
So many people on meth. Ow!
Well, I got more pranksters out there trying to make funny YouTube videos, and they're just not going over well. 2 teenagers in Vero Beach were running around the Walmart there, coughing and spraying people with Febreze.
It ain't the time, y'all.
Yeah.
Seriously, you better hope nobody is packing heat that you do that to.
Right. When they got caught, they said they're just trying to be funny and make videos for YouTube.
I get it. I understand it. It's just not the right time. It's kind of like Empire Strikes Back when Chewie. Never mind. I'm not gonna even.
Where's this long story going?
Abort!
I'm gonna just go ahead and edit myself out right now.
Yeah, they are both facing disorderly conduct charges. Well, some people were protesting outside a courthouse in Clearwater. I don't know if you saw the video yesterday. They were upset because gyms are closed, and so a majority of them are doing push-ups and squats. The comments on this video were awesome because they're all a bunch of, just jacked people.
Yeah.
The most stereotypical gym people you'd ever want to see are out there with American flags and, of course, in their tight gym clothing, showing their midriffs and their crushed abs and all that kind of good stuff. And the interesting thing about it was the comments where people are like going, don't they realize they're actually demonstrating how you don't need gyms to exercise? I mean, they're trying to protest saying open up gyms while they're doing full workouts. Looking fantastic, saying you kind of proved the point that I think we're good. Somebody else made the comment, the courthouse is now charging them $34.99 a month. Like, that would be your typical gym fee, because that's what they're doing outside.
Interesting.
Mama, can you put this also on the calendar? Cancel gym membership.
You got to cancel the Palm Beach Post and a gym membership. What else?
Oh,
I need to see your bank statement.
Nah.
We got to cancel any card or account and start from scratch.
Well, I just don't see myself going to the gym anytime soon. I don't see them opening up.
You bought a treadmill that you're not using.
I am using it now. I'm starting to. Kevin would be real proud of my week so far.
Yeah?
Yeah?
Is that W-E-E-K or W-E-A-K?
Very hurtful. Very hurtful.
Just curious. Apparently, so many people miss airplane food that there is now a company delivering unused snack trays from JetBlue to people. What?
Huh?
Wow, we are really hitting weird points in this quarantine.
We're getting these weird fetishes. Airplane food? No one likes airplane food, right?
Right.
It has improved over the last 20 years, but it's still not something that I would typically say is awesome.
Have you ever had first class airplane food?
Yes.
Was it anything special?
It's a little better. You do have a little better of an experience. Mm-hmm. It is definitely upgraded.
I think basically what it is you get nicer forks. That's pretty much it.
It's still like Piccadilly.
That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
It can't be unbelievable,
It's
right?
not like 5-star cuisine.
Okay.
It's more like Shoney's Piccadilly level.
All right, got ya.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, there are 2 guys in Tennessee. They're at an Applebee's on Saturday night, and they got mad when the bar manager announced last call. So the only rational thing to do is flip over a bunch of tables.
Oh, my gosh.
That probably happens a lot at Applebee's.
In Tennessee?
Yeah, I can see that happening, definitely.
I think so, too.
One too many peach margaritas?
Yes.
Yeah, they were both arrested for that. The parents of the 5-year-old boy in Utah who drove their car to drive to go buy a Lamborghini, they will not be facing any charges. So it all came out as a good story for everybody.
Yeah, and keep rewarding that kid too.
He's mad because somebody down the street who actually had a Lamborghini took the kid for a free Lamborghini ride, and he thinks it's punishing that bad behavior. I agree.
I'm not a huge fan of rewarding kids for acting like little brats and breaking rules and acting all renegade. Sorry, call me old school.
And a mail carrier in Ohio has been indicted for selling drugs along her postal route.
Oh.
That's a little interesting side hustle.
I mean, talk about door-to-door service, though. If she could have been more discreet.
Well, you want everything delivered, right?
You're right. If she could have kept it together,
She probably lingered too long.
Yep.
You can't. You got to keep it moving, baby.
might have had a beer at the local pub, might have started chirping about what she's doing.
Yeah, everything could have worked out if she just would have played it right. So there you go. Jason in the chat room said Kevin's always hating on Tennessee. I love Tennessee. Yes. My family's from Tennessee.
They used to run a big-time commercial down here in South Florida when I was a kid for a good 10 years promoting Tennessee. There's a song for you in Tennessee.
Yeah, that was it. That's the little song.
Times and harmony.
Yeah.
It worked.
Yeah.
Did you ever go?
Never.
Oh, it didn't work that good.
You told me I'd love Tennessee, Kev.
You would. It's beautiful. Yeah, it's a beautiful country. My family is, they hail from Bowles Gap, but they live in the Knoxville area around there.
Isn't it a big live music kind of a...
Well, Nashville.
Yeah.
That's on the western part of the state. My family's more from the eastern part. But yeah, it's beautiful. You've got Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge and the Smoky Mountains.
I want to go. Let's go this summer, V.
I went. I was in Tennessee over Christmas.
So is that a no?
I mean, yeah, I'll go. I want a road trip, though. I'm not flying nowhere.
No, we'll road trip it. We'll get a little van.
I love it.
Okay. There you go. It's
You
all
need to
set.
get a van anyway.
Man.
Your next purchase needs to be a van.
We ain't going to Tennessee. We're gonna talk about it. We'll
My
never go.
my dad actually lives with Grandma, real close to him, an hour north of Tennessee. So I will be going to Tennessee.
Yeah.
Can we do that trip in 5 days?
Oh my gosh, in less than that. Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
When I went up to, we went all the way up to Ann Arbor, and I've got a great route. We went through Knoxville and all that. Yeah, because you can go up. There's so many great towns to hit. The path I took was great. I was hitting like Columbia and Greenville, South Carolina, and then we were going up through, and we hit Knoxville.
We hit Atlanta, and then we go up to Nashville, and then we go to Bowling Green, and then we go back down to Nashville, and then we go back to Atlanta and come back. You could absolutely do that in 5 days.
When can this be? This trip of Tennessee?
I try to see Grandma at least once a year.
Okay.
You get the van, I'll put the plan.
I love it. Panda, can Panda come?
I don't know if he wants to go.
If I'm going. If I'm going, he might.
He's tapped out of the last few family vacations. I think he wants to stay home.
Didn't have the bird last time.
Okay. There you go. I tell you, I think it's one of the best areas to road trip through.
Okay.
Because I've road tripped all over, done the whole America route. There are some places where you just are on the road and you see nothing. But if you go through the southeast, there's a lot of cool little quaint towns all throughout there.
Oh, you're getting me
Every
jacked
couple hours.
up, man.
It's good. It's good stuff, man. It's a beautiful season to start doing it. Summertime, baby. And I believe you can social distance and see all these great places. So there you go. Your COVID road trip. I got it for you. Coming up here in just a second, going to be talking about the song of your generation. If you had to say what is one great song to kind of like sum up your generation, you can do everything from the Zoomers to the Boomers, everything in between. Gen Xers, Millennials, all in there. Is there one song that's like, okay, that kind of sums up our times, our attitude, who we are as people?
I had one, and then Dennys just kind of talked me out of it during that song that was playing.
You did.
Yeah, I had my answer. I felt good.
Yeah.
He totally talked me out
He's
of
kind
it.
of like trashing for you. Okay. Well, I'll give you time to regroup and find a better one then. I saw this, which since Virginia had such a great showing in the One Note Name That Tune.
Yes, it was awesome.
You did good, kid. You did good.
Lit it up.
Yeah, I want to see if maybe she's picked up her pop culture game a little bit here. This is a one-quote TV show game.
I'm so excited to see how you're going to do on this.
From one note to one quote.
Uh-oh.
There are a lot of TV shows that you can sum up in one quote. Like if you say a famous quote from the show, you would know right away what it is, that TV show. I want to see exactly how many Virginia knows here. I've got 10.
Okay.
How many do you think Virginia will get correct out of 10?
I don't know. I think she's going to go 40%, and I think we should shock her for each one she gets wrong. Just an idea.
Each one.
She's probably not cool with it.
I think Virginia will get 7.
I think I'll get more than the bird.
There's no way. I wrote him up, so.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah, and I don't think you would. I think you would still.
Well, if he wrote them, they're skewed to him.
No,
if they were just across all genre.
I picked 10 that anybody that doesn't even watch the program should know.
They're not like all from your shows.
No. You should know these.
Yeah, it's a pretty good little cross section.
Okay.
I think a lot of people do pretty well on these. Let's see here. Okay.
I'll beat Dennys then.
You could go against Dennys if you wanted to. It's a Kevin question.
Okay. First one, Virginia. Yabba dabba doo.
Oh, the Flintstones.
All right. Well, you got to give us one softball. I know you're old. I want to make you feel good.
Thanks. I want to insult you real quick.
Okay, what about That's What She Said? What's that TV show?
That's what she said?
That's what she said.
Is that from Friends?
God!
I don't know.
The Office.
Oh, I don't watch that.
But you should know that.
You know I don't watch that.
Well, that's just it. It's like, how versed are you in pop culture? These are all pretty
right.
undeniably big TV shows.
All right.
I'm not watching the Flintstones over here, but I know Yabba Dabba Doo.
Okay. So you've missed one.
And I'm keeping notes.
One quote TV show. The truth is out there.
That's X-Files.
Okay, Mama. Welcome to
Because
the
it's
game.
old.
Yeah.
You are not the father.
That's Maury Povich.
Okay, you're doing good.
Yo, bitch.
What?
Yo, bitch.
What TV show is that?
It's a very popular.
Big catchphrase from one of the characters.
I'll give you one hint. It's no longer making new episodes, but very popular. Yo, bitch. I'll stop saying it.
You're saying it with a little bit of a street attitude.
I am.
Martin?
No.
Martin?
I don't know.
What a terrible guess. Martin? The Martin Lawrence show?
Yeah.
You're out of your mind.
I don't know. What is it?
It is Breaking Bad.
Oh, I don't know that.
Okay, clearly.
Martin.
All right, you missed two now. Trying to get through 10 here to see how many you get.
Oh, this is rough.
All right, what is this TV show? No!
Oh, that's Simpsons.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
You got the 4. You shut the bird up. You really didn't shut me up. You got 4.
What you talking about, Willis?
That is Different Strokes.
Okay, yep.
Old.
No soup for you.
That is Seinfeld.
Yep. Treat yourself. Treat yourself.
Treat yourself?
There's no way you'll get it. Just back out.
I'm backing out.
Okay.
Parks and Recreation.
Yeah, I don't know that one either.
And winter is coming.
That is Game of Thrones.
Yep, there you go. What did she get? She got 7?
70%.
That's what I said, yeah. That's what I
Kevin
said.
nailed it.
Yeah, I thought you'd get 7 of those.
Yeah, Kevin knows
Well,
me.
you're having a big 9 o'clock. Or what time is it? Is it 9 o'clock yet?
Who knows?
Corona, bruh. Does time even matter?
It really doesn't. I saw a guy. It was like 3 o'clock. He was double fisting beers, walking his dog. I'm like, oh, that's really. This guy's talented.
That's a bold move.
Okay, so big question here is what song sums up each generation, depending upon where you are. Okay, so here's some suggestions that we have. For baby boomers, Bob Dylan's The Times They Are A-Changin'. For Generation X, Creep by Radiohead.
That's what I put down for mine.
That's a great one.
And why did Dennys talk you out of that?
Because he doesn't really like it that much. He thinks it's kind of depressing. And I made the case that when I was growing up, that was a high school song, and I think that song's relatable because doesn't everyone kind of feel like a weirdo, a creep, just kind of, you don't fit in at some point in your life? I think that's a relatable thing.
Well, and I think to me, Gen X is very much about grunge because, I was just a high school senior, I think it was, when Nirvana, Smells Like Teen Spirit, and all that kind of stuff started to hit, and that was kind of like in that era, the early 90s.
It was a big part of our, teenage years.
Yes. So, that could be there. Now, the one that people were throwing out a lot and texting us, and they're not saying for which generation, they're throwing out Smells Like Teen Spirit, which, somebody here is claiming for millennials, but that song came out in, I think, 91.
You can't get it, millennials, no.
Yeah, I don't think millennials get Nirvana's Smells Like Teen Spirit because, like I said, I was a senior in high school, so you would have been, what, 6?
Yeah, I can't say Tutti Frutti. No, Tutti Frutti is my
Yeah.
song of my generation.
That'd be weird.
I didn't grow up back then.
Yeah, so for Gen X, I would argue that I think Smells Like Teen Spirit might be that anthem. Nirvana was that band it brought on. It really signaled the grunge era, and things were a little bit more dark and depressing.
That's what I feel. I feel like it maybe. Is Creep too depressing for a generation anthem kind of a song?
To me, Smells Like Teen Spirit, kind of like that's an anthem. Creep is just, I don't know that that's necessarily an anthem that you get behind. Songs have like this anthem where it's like, we are, youth of a nation. Like that song to me is like, that's an anthem.
But Creep is the weirdo anthem. I'm a weirdo.
I didn't feel like a weirdo though.
It fits you.
Yeah.
Maybe. Well, it's going to be different for everybody. It's going to be different for everybody.
And you got to keep in mind, even within like each generation, somebody said, I'm a 51-year-old Gen Xer and it's Bon Jovi, Wanted Dead or Alive.
There you go.
That was a big song. I was a good bit younger on that. And I don't know, to me, I don't know if that feels like an anthem.
I wonder, though, if that person that texted in, did that song make them feel like a cowboy? And not a cowboy that rides on a horse, but a cowboy.
An urban cowboy?
Just a cowboy in life. You have the
Well,
spirit.
it's on a steel horse they ride, so it's not a real, it's a motorcycle.
Yes, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
What?
We just now understood that song. I don't
Apparently
think,
so.
I think he thought it was a real horse.
I think I finally just
On a
realized.
real
I was going to
horse.
say, I think he really thinks this is a guy like Texarado Longhand.
I got to start listening.
Just out riding the range. The realizations when 30 years after a song comes out, Jaybird finally gets it.
That's what a steel horse is.
I was just saying, it probably still made the guy feel like a cowboy. That's my point. It still works. It works.
I'd back away from it.
Yeah. Somebody said, I'm 35. Is it weird? I feel like my song of my generation is POD's Youth of the Nation. Yeah, see, I could see that. That's an anthem. I don't think that's weird for the timing of that.
That's an anthem that very predictable. Predictable anthem.
It is, but I mean, hey, if it speaks for the most amount of people.
It doesn't have to be one of those ones. We're.
Yeah, that was the most stereotypical song, and I just came up with that on top of my head before I saw that text.
For some people, Spice Girls is their song of their generation. Like a Virginia. I know you're too old for Spice Girls.
Well, Spice Girls came out when I was like probably in just starting my career.
Yeah, you're too old. You can't claim Spice Girls. Wannabe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're right.
Somebody said for Generation X, Don't Stop Believin'. I was in elementary school when that song came out, and I'm Gen X. I guess it depends. There are variations of the age.
Yeah, the older Gen X, I
Yeah.
can totally see Don't Stop Believin' being an anthem.
Yeah.
Or the song of their generation. Are they probably, made love for the first time in the back of their 81 Pontiac?
Mm-hmm. Guns N' Roses, Welcome to the Jungle. A good generational anthem. Those are some of the suggestions.
Yeah,
But
pour some sugar on me.
If you're 18 years old, though, right now, what would be your song? Is it Lizzo?
Somebody said somebody's thinking Billie Eilish
Billie
right
Eilish,
now.
yeah, I was
like
gonna
Bad
say
Guy
that.
might be
Yeah.
kind of what the anthem is for
That's
you
a
right
cool
now.
anthem. I like it. This is a really neat song.
Some other suggestions. You two still haven't found what I'm looking for.
That's a good song.
Pearl Jam's Alive. That's a great song, but I don't know if it beats Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Is that the Pearl Jam song that goes like this? Her, ho, her, her, ho, her. Gotcha. Oh, yeah, I know that one.
Yeah. Foo Fighters, Times Like These.
That's a good one.
That is a great song for right now, what we're going through.
I mean, is something like Crossroads? See you at the crossroads. That's a good one for some people.
It's about death.
Some people go through it, dog. It ain't
Well,
all,
if you go through it, you're not adding to our list.
it ain't all sherbet and flowers and puppy dogs. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right.
Sure, Bert. You made it 2 words.
Sherbet.
Sure, Bert.
Are you on me about what?
Are you talking to a guy named
Sure,
Bert?
Bert.
Sure, Bert. Whatever you want, man.
See you at the crossroads.
Yeah.
That could be somebody's song of their generation. Oh, you don't know. You don't get.
That's a bad
You
one.
never got Bone Thugs, and you never will.
Well, this is the time of year where people are trying to share their wisdom as you have graduates heading out into the world, either from high school or from college. And there are things that, trust me, if I could go back and talk to a younger version of myself, I would definitely want to know because I would make better decisions along the way. The question is at what age do you actually start listening to advice? Because sometimes you're not listening to advice when you're 17 years old.
That's true.
I said it earlier, and I think it's important enough to say again. My line would simply be this: always check your bag before you leave the delivery drive-through line.
Okay.
Always. And
Yep.
that's good for at any age.
Yeah, somebody texted in and said that is the best advice that Jaybird's ever given.
It really is. I believe in it. I've been burned. I've seen other people burned. It can wreck your day.
She said, I cannot tell you how many fights my husband and I have had because he did not double check the food at the drive-thru. Do not put your trust in people to get the order right.
I mean, if you're someone that's ordering sauces, baby, you gotta check the bag.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. My one line of advice, if I go back and talk to myself, and just putting it into one line so you don't babble on forever, I think I would say to a younger Kev, learn to manage your time, money, and emotions, and everything else will fall into place. Those are 3 things that over time that I have learned to try to manage: time, money, and emotions. And it seems like when I do that and do it well, then life is not chaotic.
And sometimes if you don't manage the time and the money, the emotions goes askew or awry.
Yes. Very wise. Virginia, would you have one line of advice that you would give to graduating seniors?
I've heard something recently that I liked a lot. First, I heard Dax Shepard say it on his podcast a few months ago. And then last night I was watching TV and I heard Reese Witherspoon say it, and I really like it. But now I feel like a hack because it's like the catchphrase du jour.
It's okay. Go with it. Wisdom is wisdom.
What did Reese say?
Bet on yourself. If you always assume that you got the best gut and the best intentions for yourself, and you believe in yourself, and you put all of your eggs in your own basket, I think that's a great way to look at things. And then you leave it up to you. You believe in yourself and you bet on yourself.
That was definitely longer than a sentence.
There was one that Heath had put up on our Facebook page that I think, in a sense, kind of cuts into that chase a little bit. If you don't take risks, you'll always work for someone who does.
That's good, too.
I thought that was pretty solid, where it just says, hey, look, you're not going to necessarily take the conservative path to mass success. If you envy people who have great success, great fortunes, whatever it is you aspire to be, they have taken chances. They did not take the safe route in everything to get to where they are. And they don't always necessarily win. They do fail, but they learn from those failures, and they use it to make them better to achieve those levels that you now see them at.
I'm going to save some people some trouble on this one.
Okay.
Never wash your private parts with Head and Shoulders.
Yes.
Why? Did you have testicle dandruff?
No,
Why were you doing
Sounds
it
like
in
he
the
was using
first
a
place?
shower lubricant.
let's just say
Yeah.
it's not good for the private area. When it's tingling, that means it's working.
Fascinating.
Yes.
And no, my private parts did not have dandruff.
Prove it?
They've got a new shampoo for you. It's called Head and Nards. You might find it more useful. It is acceptable for that area. Yeah, there's anywhere from, the really good stuff that people put up on our page about taking risks to Nicole said rent as many textbooks as possible. You don't have to buy them from the college bookstore. Look up the Chegg website, CHEGG. Somebody else said college is not for everyone. Sometimes people gonna get into that mode and they think that you have to pay a lot of money for these education. Sometimes there are jobs that you can get that doesn't necessarily require a diploma. Know what you want to do in life and say, do I need to have this accreditation to get to where I want to be? Not always do you have to do that. Some of the other ones go anywhere from Brianna to the practical. She said, you will use that math you learned to help your future kids with their homework someday, learning that in virtual learning right now.
Oof.
If you ever say, I'm never going to use this again, you would say, well, wait till you have kids and they have to do their work from home. Well, that's never going to happen.
And you're their virtual teacher.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thought Liz's was good. She said, love what you do. And if you don't at the moment, it's only a stepping stone.
That's a good one. Yeah. Don't stay there.
Tiffany said, no matter how poor you are, always find a way to travel.
That's a good one, too. Yeah.
Never trust a girl who wears a backpack into a nightclub.
But if you're looking for Molly, she's your girl.
Can you trust her, though? Can
No.
you trust her? I don't think you can.
You can't trust her.
And never trust the guy who wears sunglasses in the nightclub. I don't think you can trust them.
What about the guy who wears sunglasses on the radio?
Indoors.
Definitely don't trust that guy.
That guy is shifty.
The guy's off his rocker.
There's some amusing advice. Of course, Gemma reminded us of the classic never trust a fart. That's true. Thank you. Never pass on an opportunity to pee. Okay.
Me and Dennys were just talking about that. It's not good for you. You gotta go make sure you get that out quickly. Not quickly, but you know what I mean.
Just wherever you are, drop them.
That's not what I was saying.
Yes.
I don't think I've helped much in this segment.
Mary Jo said, don't fall asleep first at a party.
Oh, my goodness. That's a great one.
Yes. And Marcel said, don't become a Karen. Good advice.
Also, too, be careful when you chew your ice. You can get into some injuries that way. Just something, I know a lot of people don't think about that. Ice injuries, they can happen.
Okay.
No good?
Wasn't great.
But amazingly, it's the best you brought.
You stopped the room for it, so
TMJ? That's a real thing. Is it TMJ? TMG?
TMZ?
No, you can. Never mind. All right, I've lost it. I've lost the room. Go home, bird.
Go home.
He sent himself home.
Relationship ultimatums oftentimes don't really work out too well, but is this ever a time for an ultimatum? Got Aaron on here. Aaron, this is an ultimatum that you gave to your boyfriend, and you're kind of questioning whether or not that was the right thing. What was the ultimatum about that you gave him?
Well, first, thanks for taking my call. I appreciate this.
Mm-hmm.
It's just been we've been having trouble. I've been dating him for 2 years. Let me just, I guess, start at the beginning. And over the 2 years, when we first started dating, he wasn't out. And that wasn't a big deal, you know? I mean, we all figure it out when we figure it out, you know? But over the course of the relationship, you know, I really wanted to be, you know, I wanted to go to dinner and have, like, a romantic dinner out. But it always had to be, like, two friends hanging out. It was never... we were together. So
I'm assuming he must be from the area, and he's afraid that, you know, somebody's going to see him in that way and be like, "Oh, did you realize that?" And so he doesn't want. And it's about getting back to his parents. Is that kind of the ultimate concern?
Well, you know, he made all kinds of excuses, so I don't know what the truth is. You know, other than that he wouldn't. You know, and the more he didn't, the more it bothered me.
Yeah.
To the point where, you know, right at the beginning of the year, we sort of sat down and had a heart-to-heart that turned into a big fight. And I was like, well, if you're not coming out, then we can't be together anymore. And he was like, fine. And then, you know, the world kind of started on fire.
Yeah. I don't, you know, here's the thing. I'm not a huge fan typically of relationship ultimatums. But at the same time, sometimes you can be in a relationship with somebody and you're almost forced to now live a lie yourself. And if you're not comfortable living a lie, it's hard to be with somebody who is and is, in a sense, kind of forcing this lie for you to live on top of
Well,
it.
sometimes ultimatums are okay. Stop going to hookers, or if not, I'm leaving you.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can be with somebody that it's the right person, but it's the wrong time.
Oh.
If he's not ready to be out and you are, you got to respect that and you got to give him space and time.
The bad timing of a romance, yes, it
Yeah.
can happen.
He's not at the place where you are, where you're just cool with it.
So,
You know, and I tried to be that way for like 2 years. You know, I really tried, and there comes a point where I felt like the comment about living a lie. That's I felt like imagine you were in an affair with a guy who had a secret family, right? Like,
yeah.
I felt like the secret family. Like I was.
Yeah, well, eventually
afraid.
you're going to be like, no, I want better than this for me. And it's not that you have to have it be all nasty and a big blow up and you leave mad. But it's just like, okay, this is not working for me.
Right.
It was fun until it wasn't fun. And then because I care about me more than anything, I'm going to move on. And I wish you the best.
Now, Aaron, are you with him right now?
No, he's not returning calls or texts or anything. I'm trying not to be like crazy ex-boyfriend,
Yeah.
but I miss him like crazy, and it's.
Yeah, and you're like, okay, should I compromise myself? And I threw out the ultimatum thinking he was going to change, and he didn't change and come out.
Ironically,
And
he
now-
would have loved being gay under quarantine.
Yeah, but then just don't date someone that's not. I mean, you're not comfortable with dating someone who's not openly out, and that's not what you're not comfortable
But
with.
this is you learning too. Like you're learning what you will and won't accept from a partner. And I wouldn't look back on this as like, a bad thing. This taught you what you need and what you don't.
I think you're going through what a lot of people in any relationship, gay, straight, whatever, are going through right now with what this quarantine pandemic has done, the isolation. People are spending time, because they've got plenty of it, thinking about this relationship that ended right before the lockdown started. And they're starting to make compromises now, realizing how lonely they are, saying, was it really that bad? Did I really mind that I was in a relationship with a guy who wasn't out? And we had to
Yeah.
always pretend like we were just bros?
Don't romanticize it because you guys broke up for a reason.
Look, it's a jungle out there when you're dating people. This is a jungle. You don't know what's going to happen.
And now that you're learning and growing and getting older and figuring it out, I mean, he taught you some lessons about yourself. Look back and say, okay, these are great lessons and I need to take these and learn from them. Yeah, you can miss him, but I wouldn't go back to him if he's still the same.
Here's some good advice. Michael in the chat room, write a song, move on. I agree with that.
Yeah, that's
write a
not
little
bad.
song and move on.
That's not bad. Yeah. I think, coming out of this lockdown, you're going to have people that are going to emerge as evolved people from who they were because they've had time and they've used it constructively to reflect. And you're going to see the other kind of person who's going to fall right back into bad habits.
Or pick up worse habits.
You're right.
This quarantine's got people shook.
It does.
People are thinking all kind of crazy stuff. I wouldn't do anything that's so big and over the top when it comes to matters of the heart.
We talked about
during
this.
Yes. Especially if it's new and it's a newer relationship. Hold it.
Not the time for big life changes.
I mean, because you don't know what's going on right now. You're crazy. You're thinking crazy things.
And if you're reaching out to him and he's not reaching back,
he don't want you.
There is a message there.
Don't become that desperate fool.
No. You got to keep it your wits about you and don't look thirsty.
All righty, we got the After the Show podcast going to be coming up. You can watch it on our Facebook page and also our YouTube channel. That is going to be happening just about 15 minutes from now live, but you can always get it on demand too, so you don't have to see it live. Also, we have that podcast every single day where you can hear everything from the regular show. And you can also get the After the Show podcast on that as well. That'll be picked up on your smartphones and podcast apps all over the place, including the 97.9 WRMF app, which is free. You can download. All right, Jaybird, if you wrap us up, what you got for your thought for the day?
Well, going kind of piggybacking what you were saying, everyone's kind of said a little bit different with all this going on. So this is that thought I was telling you.
Okay.
The shoe that fits one person pinches another. There is no recipe for living that suits all cases.
All right.
Yeah, think about it. Let them marinate.
Gotta find your own shoe that fits. There's
Yeah.
not one template for living a whole life.
We all got different feet, dog.
Yeah. Like it.
Yeah.
Very deep. Very wise.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
This is the KVJ Show on 97.9 WRMF.